Where's Cole been? It's been a few weeks. Maybe it's time for a catch up, but clearly a lot has changed. So Cole's back on the YouTube game. Sit back, relax, and let's get this, don't know, long time no see started. So, it's been a little bit radio silent on the Cole running front for a little while, but I'm back. I'm here to update you about what I've been up to, why I haven't been posting, plans for the future of this channel. So yeah, sit back, relax, and yeah, let's get through this not so easy run. So it's probably best to go back to kind of when I started getting some issues, when things started to kind of fall apart a little bit for me personally, but also running wise as well. So December 14th, I started to feel this sort of niggle in my thigh. Painful to run on, painful to walk on, ended up with me limping, and just not being able to train at all really. Energy feeling a bit low, and then obviously when you haven't got that catharsism, you start to feel a bit low mood as well. Despite this pain, I carried on training, got through to January, got to the Canterbury 10, raced the Canterbury 10, and performed really well despite limping through the whole warm-up, first few kilometres. And it was that race that kind of made me realise that I actually need to get this injury looked at, need to do something about it. So following the Canterbury 10, I got an ultrasound done where it showed a tear in my left quadricep rectus femoris, one of my hip flexors, and also some odd swelling around the outer layer of my bone, the periosteum. So I went to the GP and basically requested an MRI scan because I had a suspected stress response or stress fracture, and decided at that point it was best for me to stop running, because if it was one of those things, I was only going to end up doing more damage. So got put on the waiting list for an MRI scan and thought, oh, 6 to 8 weeks, I'll be back running after I've got my MRI scan result. It's not the end of the world. But little did I know it would take me 4 months to get that MRI scan, because I couldn't afford to go private essentially. So 4 months of no running. I decided to get back into it slowly, started training when I was in Portugal again, had the MRI scan when I got back. It essentially revealed that I had a femoral shaft stress fracture. To what sort of grade, I don't know, but I had one, which gave me some comfort in terms of it explained why I'd had that pain, but also some real annoyance that it had taken me almost 5 months to get a diagnosis. So come the end of May, I had the diagnosis that I'd had a stress fracture, but I didn't have one anymore, which is great news in terms of I could start running again, but bad news in terms of I just had near enough 5 months off running. As you can tell from my breathing, that the fitness is taking a little while to come back. I got the result in May time, and at that point my final exams are coming up for my master's degree, so there's just no way that I can compromise on my studying time by running or making YouTube videos. So I decided to dig in for my final exams. My final exam was on the 4th of June, and I'm happy to say it went very well, and I ended up completing my master's degree in osteopathy. So I'm now a registered osteopath, so holler at your boy for any running or life-related aches, pains and niggles. So now, following the completion of my degree, I'm now running again, getting back into it. This is now week number 4 of getting back into training, of purely easy running, just to get the body used to it again, building that mileage back up slowly, sensibly, and yeah, as I should be, basically. So anyway, just easy running at the moment, but today I've decided I'm going to run to the North Pole. So I'd like to quickly talk to you about the sponsors of today's video. This is a massage gun by 2 guys called Bob and Brad, 2 American physios. Now, as an osteopath, I have to take that with a pinch of salt. Physiotherapists are fantastic too, but obviously as an osteopath, always going to root for the osteopaths. But anyway, I digress. They've sent me a massage gun that has really kind of, I don't know, it's opened my eyes to new ways of recovering, basically. The massage head goes hot and it goes cold, so whether you're looking to improve the blood flow to a certain area, say for example a tendon, you've got perineal tendonitis, tendinopathy, whatever you want to call it, that's causing you some jip and it just won't go away, and you need to kind of, if you need to improve the blood flow to that area because tendons don't have great blood flow, a warm massage head is going to be the absolute perfect thing. It goes really quite warm, definitely enough to get some blood flow going. And alternatively, if you need to reduce some inflammation, say for example, like my daddy's got a torn meniscus in his knee, if you wanted to reduce the inflammation around that area before a run, he could use the cold setting of the massage gun. I just think that's really useful for kind of changing the game. If you haven't got ice in your car, you can take this with you, so you can ice the area on the go, out and about, at work, wherever you may be. And the same for heat, you don't always have access to a heat pack or a warm bath. But anyway, thank you to Bob and Brad for sending me this massage gun. It's a really, really useful bit of kit, and definitely something that I'll be recommending to patients if they're wondering how they can ice and heat out and about. So thank you to them for sponsoring today's video as I kind of come back to the YouTube running game. And there's a link in the description if you want to check out this massage gun for yourself from Amazon, so you'll get next day delivery, and all money from sponsorships will always get reinvested back into the channel. So thank you to them for sponsoring this video, and yeah, let's get back to me waffling. So another reason I decided to stop uploading to the channel was because I wasn't really enjoying the videos I was making. I just felt like I was forcing myself to do it a couple times a week, filming whatever I could rather than what actually made sense or that would make good content. Going forward, that's something I definitely want to change. I want to start making original content that is useful, educational, or entertaining, rather than just filling the running YouTube space with a bunch of waffle, basically. But there's no doubt in my mind that this master's degree in osteopathic medicine that I've completed is the biggest achievement of my life so far, and I'm so proud of myself, because running PBs is hard, don't get me wrong, but I train and run because I enjoy it, because I love it. Whereas my degree, there was very few times where I actually enjoyed it or loved it, and it was just a grind from start to finish. I've got my friends, loved ones, family, girlfriend, etc. to thank for helping me get through this degree, and it's a bit like driving. Now that I've completed my degree in osteopathy, this is where I start properly learning about it and kind of tailor it to what I enjoy and what I love. So I feel like at the moment I'm kind of in my transition period into kind of becoming like a proper adult. Most people will probably think of turning 18 as becoming an adult. I'm now 23, but to be honest, I haven't really felt like an adult. I've had lots of support from my parents, obviously doing a degree where I'm not really working. I know I'm studying, but it doesn't really feel like I'm contributing that much to society or paying my way, you know. So this feels like, now that I've finished my studies, I've now got 3 jobs, all self-employed, so working for my own clinic, but then working for 2 other clinics as well to try and really build that experience. It's going to give me a lot more independence, financial stability, and that feeling of becoming an adult, becoming a man, if that makes sense. So that's something that's really motivating me at the moment, is kind of growing into the best professional and best all-round kind of human I can be. So going forward, this YouTube is going to be what it needs to be, which is a hobby, something that I enjoy doing and something that I look forward to doing, rather than being something that I was using for uni to keep my finances afloat, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean that I'll make no money from YouTube, that I won't do the odd sponsorship here or there, but it does mean I'm going to prioritise the content that I make the content that I want to make, and not what I feel like I should be making, if that makes sense. So it feels like my life is starting to really piece together. The running is back, I'm working, I finished my degree, managed to get a 2-1 in the end. So going forward, obviously I'm back running, got to think about what my goals and aims are, and the first thing is to get back to running a mileage that I'm happy with, running a sort of fitness level that I'm happy with, because at the moment I've gone from being able to run a 14:45k, a 31-minute 10k, to my Coros predicts at the moment that I would run an 18:46 5k, which, don't get me wrong, is not too shabby at all, but it feels like a little bit of a fall from grace in terms of it's quite a way off where I was. So there's work to be done, but I'm here for it. I'm going to try and get a bit more routine back in the training. Another thing is that I've been coaching 6 athletes for the past few months, some longer, some more recently. And what coaching those has made me realise is that with their training, I make objective decisions, when to rest, when to train, what sort of intensity to train at, when to race. But for my own training, I'm so subjective. I make way too many emotional decisions about how far I'm going to run, what races I'm going to do. So something else I'm going to look at going forward is getting my own coach to make the objective decisions for me, because I feel like as a running coach myself, I feel like I'm quite good, I'd like to hope, and that I make the correct decisions for my athletes, but I don't make the correct decisions for myself when it comes to my own training. So there's a little tip for anyone that's self-coached out there, maybe think about getting a coach, because I guarantee, just like me, you're probably doing something wrong. So I know this has been a very talky video, not much action in this one, but I just thought it was useful or needed to kind of get back in front of the camera, explain where I've been, explain what's happening going forward, because it's been quite emotional really, the amount of people that have reached out to me, commented on Strava, commented on an old YouTube video saying kind of like, Cole, where are you? Missed the vlogs, stuff like that. So I started to get a bit of like imposter syndrome with the whole social media running space, feeling like maybe I wasn't making the content I thought I was, or wasn't making good enough content, or wasn't making a difference at all to people's lives. So as I alluded to earlier, I'm going to be working at 3 different clinics to build up my experience, get a little bit more financially stable, and just really kind of hone my skills as an osteopath. So the name of my business is called Rejuvenate Health Hub. That's based in Herne Bay, which is near kind of Canterbury, Whitstable area in Kent. And the second clinic I'm working at is where I'm heading to this afternoon, which is a place called DCM Clinics, which is owned by a guy called Danny Mace. This clinic specialises in sports injury, so it's great for me to kind of learn a lot of experience and hone my skills in like sports injuries and getting people back to their sports as quickly as possible. It's right next to a state-of-the-art gym, so I'm going to take you with me and bring you along for kind of like an afternoon of work, if you like, give you a little tour and maybe a little bit of an insight into what an osteopath kind of gets up to. I'm starting out working 6 days a week because I'm motivated, I'm eager, and like excited to kind of learn and get working and start my kind of working life, if you like. So yeah, let's head to Kings Hill for a bit of osteopathy. So that's an evening shift at DCM clinic finished. Saw a few patients today, including some postural tension, subacromial impingement syndrome, some knee instability, so plenty of different complaints to help people with essentially. But today is my anniversary of my girlfriend, so I had to go and get her some flowers, obviously. Got to look after your girl. So yeah, gonna head back, have some dinner, and gonna be an early night because I'm absolutely knackered. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share with your running buddies, and yeah, I'm back. Catch you in the next one.